This week, I embarked on a quest. My quest didn't involve some long trek over snow capped mountains or long stretches of valleys to traverse, nor did it require myself teaming up with a group of like minded individuals of various sizes whom decided to follow a man with a pointy hat across miles and miles of treacherous terrain to confront and ultimately defeat and or destroy evil. It didn't even require me to dress up as the ultimate badass and challenge a fiery worm in order to rescue a damsel in distress, though that would have been pretty cool. But no, this quest was personal. It may seem mundane to some, but it's deep in personal discovery. I guess you can say that my quest was to find my happy place. I embarked on this journey with the goal of finding what I could do to ultimately start creating a better me. Earlier in this week, I told myself I would go out of my way to do something good for somebody. Now, this isn't really a special circumstance. I regularly help people. I open doors for people. I give money when I have it to give to various charities. I've even been known to help people carry their groceries to their car. But I wanted to do something out of the ordinary. It just so happens that I got my opportunity. Friday, as I was arriving with my son to Chuck E. Cheese, there were two women with very worried faces looking at a flat tire on a car. When I pulled into the parking lot, one of them looked at me in what can only be described as a pleading expression. So I parked the car and went to see if I could be of any assistance. Apparently, the driver of the car had hit the curb very hard and busted the car tire. Neither woman knew how to change a tire, as was apparent by the way they had the car jack upside down. Anyway, I took it upon myself to go ahead and change the tire for them. They were ecstatic and offered me money, which I refused. They proceeded to tell me how much of a great person I was to the point that it got embarrassing, and needless to say, this got left them thankful and left me smiling at the good deed and how it affected them. My next mission was to spend one quality hour with a loved one, free of technology. My one loved one turned into two, and my 1 hour turned into a day. Ah, my kids. Aren't they lovely? Anyway, I spent all day Saturday with my kids. Sure, the day began with some TV watching, but after about an hour of that, I decided to change it up a bit. We got dressed and went to the park. We played on the playset. My son and I threw a baseball for a bit. I pushed my daughter on the swing. We had a ball. After a few hours of that, we came home and played some chess. I'm still the house undisputed champion, by the way. Then we broke out the guitars and got some practice in. It was a great day. I don't often take the time to really connect with my kids. With all the game devices, TVs, smartphones, etc., sometimes it's hard to get through to anybody. It felt good to unplug, and I believe my children and I have a closer connection because of it. Finally, I decided to take the character strength survey to find where my three top strengths are. Apparently, my top three strengths are humor, fairness, and social intelligence. Humor coming in at number one isn't really a surprise to me. I'm always laughing and teasing. I don't like being around dullness and lifelessness. Laughter brightens up virtually any occasion or situation. I have a knack for finding the funny, and I try to share it with everybody. Fairness came in at number two. I consider myself pretty fair. I'm offended by unfairness. I strive to be in everything I do, regardless of whether or not I have a personal preference on the matter. Finally, it looks like I'm pretty good with social intel. I kind of pride myself on being able to adapt to any situation, so I'm not really surprised by this being one of my strengths. I have noticed over the years that I have an ability to attract people. Most people want to be around me. From friends that I've met in Mexico, and my Spanish is so so at best, to people from towns that are still stuck in the 1800s. I've never had problems getting along. I never knew what to call this ability. Maybe social intelligence is the strength I've been using. I believe that knowing my strengths will enable me to apply them more often, and also it will allow me to understand what I'm actually doing when I do apply them. My quest revealed a lot to me. Due to the quest, I know my strengths, I have a better connection with my kids, and I have reaffirmed that doing good deeds puts a smile on my face. Which brings me to PERMA and my plan to implement it. PERMA is basically the elements of well being required for long lasting happiness. They are positive emotion, engagement, positive relationships, meaning, and achievement. I plan to implement these more in my daily life. Firstly, helping the two women at Chuck E. Cheese gave me positive emotion, and therefore, I will look for more ways to help people. Spending a day with my children brought us closer together and fostered positive relationships and touched on the meaning aspect of PERMA. I do feel that I have a duty and mission to be there for my kids instead of letting them waste away in front of a TV. I plan to dedicate at least 1 hour to them daily where we just unplug and play. And finally, I aim to use my strengths more. Combining humor with social intel, I feel that I could get into practically anywhere and be able to even attract people with it. Who knows? I might experience a whole bunch of new things. As for fairness, I will continue to practice it. I believe it is important to treat and be treated fairly, and being fair touches on positive emotion, achievement, and meaning for me. All in all, this task assigned for me turned out to be a real eye opener and revealed a lot to me. Thank you very deeply for the opportunity to discover myself.